My name is Allie, and welcome to Funny Fat Friend, a podcast about this bodacious biracial babe trying to find herself in film. Here's an update. We have been protesting here in Louisville for 106 days, and we still have no justice. I'm continuing to highlight organizations leading the way in racial justice and equity. With this week, I'm going to tell you about Give for Good Louisville, which is the biggest day of local giving in the city. And it's a week from today, on September 17th. When you give to participating nonprofits on the 17th, your donation goes farther because it contributes to additional funding provided by community partners that are matching and giving based on the amount of unique donations these organizations receive. So even giving a few bucks goes a super long way for securing an extra $1,000, for example, for that organization. You can find out more about this ruckus and fun day at giveforgoodlouisville.org. All right. I know it's been a minute. Well, I don't know the math. I'm not going to say how many minutes. That would have been pretty fun. But it wouldn't have, never mind. It wouldn't have been fun. I don't care. I didn't do it. I took last week off. We didn't have a pod last week. Last week I took off because I went to Washington, D.C. for the March on Washington. And it was an extremely emotional and intense day. And it's disappointing, obviously, that, it wasn't an anniversary march, for history. It was a march for continued issues. So I hope that you all are keeping racial justice active in your lives. If you are stalled out, don't know what else to do, reach out. Reach out to organizations in your local community. If you have a BLM chapter or a Surge chapter, reach out, stay engaged. This isn't gonna be short, right? We're overturning centuries of oppression. So, yeah, let's do it. Why not, right? Let's just do it. Let's just keep on keeping on and make this world better. We can do it. Why not? Yeah. Let's talk about this week's movie. So I figured coming back, I would do another series, because even though Twilight was one of the worst things I've ever done, one of the worst experiences of my film watching life was watching the Twilight Saga. I thought that I definitely deserved a happier experience watching a film series. So I'm coming back today with the first out of 4 movies in this series. It's very exciting. I'm extremely excited. They were very formative to my childhood, and they definitely helped make me the loud weirdo that I am. So yeah, of course I'm talking about the Men in Black series. I don't know if you can actually feel my extreme excitement right now. But it is intense. It's very intense. I'm so in love with Men in Black. I think, I hadn't seen it. Probably in a decade. I hadn't seen the first movie since before college. But before that, the Men in Black series is a massive staple in my household. We watched it a lot. I remember going to the second movie. It was one of the first movies I cognitively remember seeing in full in the theater. So this film series is super important to me. But okay, let's start. We're starting at the beginning. We're starting at Men in Black. All right. It's the first of 4 movies so far. It's open-ended, but the last movie apparently did really bad. I haven't seen it. That's the only one I haven't seen. It's going to be that 4th one. It only came out last year. And I haven't seen it because I was sad by all the reviews. But we're staying hopeful. Okay, but Men in Black, the first movie, it came out in 1997. I was 4 years old, yo. That was a long time ago. And it had a budget of $90 million, which is bonkers. That's so much money in 1997. It's so much money now, honestly, but like, not in movie world. It's not that much. But in 1997 it was. And it grossed $589.4 million. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money now. So that's wild and amazing. How exciting. Did you get goosebumps? I got goosebumps when I found that out. But I'm the nerd. You can get that confirmed from my mother. I'm a nerd. So, yeah, it's really exciting how successful this film was. It's like the golden age of Will Smith. I think a lot of people think of this time as the golden age of Will Smith. Even though to me, it never stopped. The golden age of Will Smith has been any moment Will Smith has existed. He is so wonderful. I love him so unabashedly, even on YouTube. He's goofy and ridiculous and phenomenal and makes me feel so good. I love him. I think he's really talented. Because he is talented. I'm not backing down. He is. Okay. So, yeah. Cool. Alright, so yeah, that's the basics. 1997, Men in Black made a butt ton of money before 2000. That's wild. Okay, so yeah. Sick. Let's get into it. Alright, so right off the bat, which shook me, I didn't realize this until I was watching it as an adult who reads. That's the end of the sentence. As an adult who reads and watches film now, I noticed in the opening credits that this is a Marvel movie. That it's based on comics in the Marvel comics. I had no idea that it was based on comics. It makes a lot of sense. Like, it's so interesting and cool, of course. The comics did it. But, wow. So, yeah, I was a little disappointed that I was deeply in love with a Marvel franchise because I felt so cool having not seen very many Marvel movies in my life. But it's fine. But it does give me the question of, like, all my superhero friends, I have so many of you. A lot of you that listen to this podcast really love Marvel because you have been in my DMs about the Marvel movies, or you're just my friend and I know that you really like the Marvel movies. Is this like technically part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I don't really understand how the Marvel Cinematic Universe works because there's like all the weird stuff with like X-Men, but that was just like a studio thing. Is it? Or are they here? Are Men in Black and like Spider-Man happening in the same world? I don't know. Somebody tell me. Okay. Especially as complicated for the fourth one. I'll probably get more into it with the fourth one because Chris Hemsworth is in the fourth one. Okay. Wow, this has been such a long... Y'all, I'm going off my rails, you know? I can't be taking time away from these things, because I blab, and I've gotten lazy with editing, but also, you guys have told me that you like it this way, so thank you for liking it rambly this way, because it makes it easier on me. I don't have to edit as much. Sick. So this is what you asked for. No takebacks. Okay, so yeah. This is a Marvel movie. Thank you in advance for those who get in my DMs or text me about whether it's part of the universe or not. Okay. So yeah, it opens. We're like driving down the road. We got a big old trucky van thing. I think it's a covered truck. It doesn't. But yeah, it's a trucky van thing that a man is driving, and there are people in the back It is implied that they're like crossing the border illegally, that sort of thing. So they get pulled over by the police, the state troopers. I don't really know. I guess it's border security, but it was before ICE, so just racist? I don't know. Is that controversial? I would imagine that no one who listens to this podcast would be a supporter of ICE. If you are, goodbye. I can't say it's been a pleasure having you listen. But, so yeah, there's Border Patrol police officers, I'm not sure, that are there. And they're just like shitty white guys, so, of course. But they do have fun hats. When they stop the truck and they look in the back, there are people in the back of the truck. They make all the people get out. This is when Agent K and Agent D show up in their slick little car, in their nice suits, and they're like, yo, 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 we'll take it from here with our sunglasses on at night. And the officers don't react enough to these homeboys rolling up all of a sudden, because they're just like, oh, okay. Guess you're doing this now. And the Agent K is Tommy Lee Jones, who is just, yeah, he's like one of the hottest older men that has ever existed. He really is. He's so attractive. I thought he was super attractive when I was young, and I was right. He's a very hot man. He's a very, very hot, wrinkly man, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't mind if you think that's weird. I'm about it. He's hot. He's really hot. But he's going one by one down the line, talking to each person in Spanish, and they're all responding to him. And he gets to the second to last guy, and he starts to insult him in Spanish. And the guy is just laughing, ha 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 ha, and not giving any answers. And he's like, okay, think we got him. And so he tells everybody else that they can get back in the truck and keep on going, and welcome to America. Gorgeous. I love this stance. Honestly, this is a very pro-immigrant. Yeah, it is. It's blatantly a pro-immigration movie. Like, yeah. If you're coming here to make a good life for yourself, come on in. It's sick. Do your thing, homies. Yeah, okay, love it. And of course the other patrol officers are like, whoa, you can't do that. And he's like, shut up, do whatever I want. And so they get in the truck, they get to go away, but they keep the guy who obviously didn't speak any Spanish, and they take him down into the field that is just next to the road. And they're talking to him, and they cut him open. But it's not gory, it's just a costume on top of this big old alien. His homeboy he's tall, and he got a lot of little eyeballs and hands. He's got so many little hands. Yeah, hands everywhere. It's very, very fun, very interesting. He's full of hands. And apparently he is a criminal and is, trying to come somewhere he's not supposed to be. And they're just trying to get him back where he's supposed to be. Of course, one of the patrol officers finally is like, what's going on? And he walks over and sees the alien and blows the cover. And so the alien decides that he's going to go murder him, I guess. It's a very quick turn of events. It doesn't make much sense, but the alien goes to go murder this man, and he's very scared. Agent D, who has been there this whole time, he's a very old man, he just falls over and is messing up and can't stop him. And then Agent K is able to shoot the alien explodes. And then they neuralize all of the officers, which is wiping their memory. He has this weird little vibrator that wipes everybody's it looks like a vibrator that wipes everybody's memory. And a team of other Men in Black people come to clean up the area. And Agent D is talking to Agent K and is like, yo, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. I'm old. It's time to retire me. And so Agent K neuralizes him, and the next thing we know, we are in New York, and Will Smith is running through these streets, just on foot, booking it, chasing a man in an ugly 90s ski slope jacket. That's all I can think of it as. He's got a puffy, shiny jacket on. He's chasing this man. He's like, NYPD, stop! You know the classic stuff. But this man is like so fast that he is chasing. He's like, this man is like unhumanly fast. Then this man jumps up and does some mad parkour and scales the side of the Guggenheim, as a person cannot do. Will Smith only pauses on that one. He looks confused, as Will Smith does, and but that does not stop him. He still chases him, and he goes up to the roof. He's holding this man, and the man's eyes blink like twice, like horizontally and vertically, and that's spooky. And then he gets away. Yeah. And he is like, this is bonkers. This is wild. And you see him, he is in like the interrogation room later, the police office. Police office? Is that right? Is that what they're called? Station? The police station. I got it. Alright, we're okay. Okay, the police station. And everybody's just like kind of giggling at him about the eyes thing, because he's talking about the eyeballs being odd. But then the coroner, for some reason, is there and is like, I believe you. Come see me after this. And she like walks away, and we see a flash, like, which is the neuralizer. And then Agent K comes into the room and sends the other cops away and takes Will Smith. And it's like, what'd you see? Tell me about it. And then he neuralizes him. But then the next scene is him, Agent K, Tommy Lee Jones, and Will Smith hanging out together, like at this restaurant that is like got like an aquarium behind it. Yo, for real, it looks exactly like the restaurant in Catwoman that had the aquarium behind her. I'm not kidding. I don't think I'm completely wrong. Like, all right, let's look at it. They're not exactly the same, but like, it could have just been a thing. It could have just been, I guess, like an early 2000s, late 90s restaurant vibe where they have these big, weird aquariums and dramatic lighting. I completely can imagine that could be a thing. Why don't we still have that? It's cool. But yeah, so they're like, he's like laughing. Agent K is like laughing, telling some story. And Will Smith is very confused. And we are very confused. We are Will Smith. We are Will Smith. And he's like, all right, here's my business card. You should come to this office tomorrow if you're still interested. And we're like, huh? And Will Smith is like, huh? Because why did he neuralize him if he was just gonna invite him to the office later? I don't know. I guess for the fun. I don't know. It's fine. So Will Smith goes to the office the next day. It's this building that it has like this massive fan in the opening in the first room. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna find out why there's that big fan. I feel like we do find out in a later movie why there's a giant fan in there. But I don't know. And he gets into the elevator, and they take him down. And he is taken into a room that has all these other, like, military officials in it. And he's like, "What's up, everybody? What are we doing?" And they're like, "We're here. We're the best of the best." And he's like, "Cool, but, like, why are we here?" And they're like, "Because we're the best." But it turns out that it's like a job interview kind of thing. The lead director comes in and gives them all like a paper test to take, which I don't know why. They're all sitting in these weird little egg-shaped chairs, which also, I bring those back. I think those are from the 90s. It looks like you're sitting in an egg. And that seems kind of fun, but they didn't give any of them, like, a clipboard or anything to write on, so they're all struggling to write on these papers, because that is a very funny physical gag. I really enjoyed it. Will Smith broke his pencil, like, right away, so he's, like, funnily trying to hold his pencil together and write, like, on his arm and all these different places. But there's, like, a small table in the room, and so he takes it, and it's very hilarious. It's a very good sound gag of it loudly scraping across the ground as he moves it to his chair, and he does the test, which I guess that was the test, was to who would move the table to use it. I don't know. It's good. Then they have a shooting test. I don't really know how to describe that better, but like there's like a New York scene in front of them, and there's like all these pop-up like monsters and aliens and stuff, and like strobe lights and things, and they all have guns and they're all shooting. And Will Smith is just like standing there like overwhelmed, and then calmly like takes one shot, and then like all the lights come up and it stops, and the director comes in and is like, Mr. Edwards, which is his last name is Edwards. What is his full name? It's James Darrell Edwards III. He asked him, "Hey, Mr. Edwards, why did you shoot little Sally?" And like on a conveyor belt, it pulls up the little like cardboard person, and it's this little girl with pigtails, and she's like holding school books standing there. And he's like, "Well, at first I was going to shoot this alien over here, but then I realized he's just exercising, just getting his workout in. And then I was going to shoot this other alien, but then I noticed he had Kleenex in his hand, so he's just like sneezy boy. But then I noticed this little girl, and she is carrying like metaphysics and really intense scholarly books that are definitely too old for her. So she is an evil genius, probably making a bomb, so I shot her." Which is bad. Yep. And everybody's like, "Wow, okay." And the director leaves and goes and talks to like Agent K, and it's like, "This man is like a live wire and has an attitude, but if he's who you want, he's who you want." And so we get to see that, oh, it's for his new partner. Okay, that makes more sense. And Will Smith to the other guys is like, "That was a good shot though." The Will Smith quips are that's what you're seeing the movie for, you guys. You know, when you want to see a Will Smith movie, you're doing it for the quips. Alright? There's no hiding that. We're doing it for the quips. We are Will Smith, and we do it for the quips. So yeah. Then the director comes back in and tells everybody they can leave. Or that they have an eye test. It's the last test. And he takes everybody in there. Agent K takes Mr. Edwards off to the side. And we see that the eye test is just like a neuralizer. They all get flashed. And Agent K gives Will Smith the rundown about what is actually happening there. So it's a government agency that first made contact with aliens in 1961. And these alien refugees live in secret on Earth, and they're disguised as humans. And they call themselves MIB, or Men in Black. And they're just like a secret agency that polices the aliens, protects Earth from extraterrestrial threats, and uses memory-erasing neuralizers to keep alien activity a secret. So that's cool. But yeah, we see like a cute picture from the 60s, and it's a man with flowers handing them to the alien, and it's cute. And they parked the UFOs at the top of the World's Fair things. I don't know, but it's like famous iconography. It's the image of it. So yeah, he gives them that rundown, and he's like, yeah. So if you want to join us, come back here. At this time, you'll have to give up all of your life. Yep. Which he goes and he sits in the park at sunset and then goes back and becomes Agent J, which is fun. Agent K and Agent J. I like it. I'm into it. Yeah, cool. So yeah, after that, we finally get our conflict. And I'm going to take a sip of my wine. All right. Then we have our conflict in this like rural area. It has to be in New York, I'm assuming, because everything else is in New York. It's drivable distance from MIB, so I assume it's in New York. In like rural, probably upstate New York, there's a spaceship crashes next to this like small house, and right before it happens, we hear a man yelling about a woman being like not making his dinner well enough and being lazy and having a fat ass and, you know, just being a real piece of shit. And he's like, the only thing worthwhile in my life is my truck. Which is so good. And of course, the spaceship crashes into the truck, and the man comes out of the house and is like, what is that? And he looks and sees that it has crashed into the truck, and he goes, of course. And he walks over, and he gets taken. He gets like sucked into the crater. And his wife is like calling his name. I feel like it was like Ed or something. I don't remember. I think so. I think it was Ed. And she's like, Ed. And he comes back into the house, and he is not looking right. You know what I'm saying? He is not looking right. He is like a melted candle of a man. You know, like his skin is a drooping. Not looking right at all. And his voice is bonkers, which I have. I once met a guy at a bar. It was like, a man once hit on me at the bar and was doing impressions of like celebrities and things. I don't know, trying to be funny. I'm not really a big impressions person, but like, if that's your talent, go off, you know, use your talents. Just wasn't meant to be for us. But the one that I did really like was he did this character. He does this weird bug alien man. Because the voice is really uncomfortable and weird. And kind of funny, but like mainly scary. I don't know. So yeah. While you're watching this movie, if you rewatch it and listen to this man talk, just know there's somebody out there in the Louisville area that likes to go to bars and hit on people by doing this voice. So that should make you feel really happy, because it makes me feel really happy. Didn't work out, you know, but he exists, and I hope he finds the love of his life soon. But okay, yeah. So this guy Ed is got a scary, spooky voice. He's talking to his wife, or the alien Ed. He's talking to his wife, and is like, "Give me sugar water," It kind of sounds like that. Actually, I did a pretty good job doing the impression. Sugar water. And so she puts some sugar and water for him, and he drinks it. And she's like, Ed, your face just isn't looking right. It looks like, your skin is like loose. And he's like, oh, is this better? And he pulls on the back of his head, and his like eyes are like popping out, and it's really scary. And she faints, as one would. Yay! So yeah, then we go back to MIB, where Agent J is getting trained, learning all the things, looking at all the things. They're teaching him about the aliens, and they're in like the command center, and they like see all the pictures of all the people who are aliens currently in the world, and there's like lots of celebrities on it. I remember Sylvester Stallone is the one that stands out to me in my mind. My memory is Sylvester Stallone is on their little board, and one of his teachers, apparently as a child, was an alien as well. But the chief is all like, hey, we have like, we can see that there was a crash in upstate New York or wherever, and if you go check it out. And so they go to a grocery store first, and he's like, we need to do a little intel. And he picks up those like tabloid magazines with like my baby is a pig. I don't know. That was a really weird example of a headline, but just like the wild. I wish I remember the name of like there's like the name of the most famous one. I can't remember right now, but yeah. And Jay is all like, really? These are all like just weird tabloids. And he was like, nah, it's real for us. And there's one of them is my husband's body was taken over by an alien. And lo and behold, they go to that woman's house, and it is the woman who had that alien crash into her front yard. So it is real. And they talk to her about it, and she's just like, yeah, he looked like not himself and was scary, and it was terrible. And so they're like, all right, cool, thanks. And they neuralize her. And Agent K is just like giving her like a random story, just of like, there was like a sun flare, and you thought you saw something, but that's just what it was. It was just like a pocket of gas and whatever. And Agent K is all like, that's it? That's the best you got? No. And he like is like, you're going to go into town. You're going to get yourself some nice dresses because you realize that you're better than this man and you deserve to have a nice life. And stuff. It's really wholesome. It's very fun. I like it. And they take the spaceship with them. And are like, yep, so he can't leave. We have his ship home. So he's trapped here for at least a minute, and that's good. So we see Ed. Ed is driving around now because he meets an exterminator. And he takes the exterminator's van after murdering him, of course. And we see that he like releases cockroaches from his body, so that's gross. So he's just like a big bug alien inside of a skin suit. Cute. He should run for government. I'm very funny. And he's hunting down this like small man. We see this small adorable man walking through the streets, and he is like following this guy. And the man goes into a cafe and meets up with a very tall man. And that's wholesome. Yep. And yeah, I think it's right before this we also see Monk. I don't remember Monk's name. Dang it. I should remember his name. He was in the band's Visit on Broadway, and that was my job, was knowing all of those people. Ah, man, he's also in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. He's the dad. Well, that guy is Agent K and Agent J go into his pawn shop, and because they find they're investigating about like who would have landed and that sort of thing, and he's like the head of the pawn shop, and Agent K blows his head off, and Agent J freaks out, and it's like, that's excessive force. Ooh. But his head grows back because he's an alien, and that's what he can do. And he gives them some intel about like what the alien is doing here. It's like he's trying to like get to the galaxy, like get to this alien's galaxy, something like that. And so that's what the little man is. The little man is like an official from that galaxy, I guess. And so back to the diner with Little Man and Big Man, and they're hanging out and they're best friends and they're very cute together. We find out that the Little Man is like royalty, and he has his cat with him, which is very wholesome. There's a cat in a bag, which would never work with my cat. Matilda is a bitch. She's over here right now. She does not care about me calling her a bitch because she is one, and would never sit in a bag. I could never take her to a diner. It'd be so ruckus. But this cat is so well behaved at this diner with its person, and it's sweet. But yeah, they're having a nice lunch. But Ed comes in, Alien Ed, comes in after folding up a waiter. We see his folded up body. He takes his apron and stuff and goes up to their table and is like, haha, I'm here to get your galaxy. And they're both like, you're never gonna get it. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, you'll never find it. And he's like, whatever, but I will. And on the table, the smaller man had put out a little box that had diamonds in it that he was giving as a gift to his friend to give to his family, which is very sweet and wholesome. But Ed Bug, doesn't know that, and he thinks it's the galaxy. So he murders both of them by like sticking a stinger through their necks, which is yikes times 1,000. It was horrible to look at, and they both die. Cat runs away. He grabs the thing of jewels and goes to his bug van. And scoots away. Quickly followed by Agent K and Agent J quickly after find out that those two have been murdered, and they go to the morgue to kind of see what's going on, And Agent K and Agent J head to the morgue, and they look at the bodies, the little guy and the big guy, and it's the same chick from when Agent J was still in the NYPD and said that she knew weird stuff was happening. She is head of the morgue where they go, where the bodies are. They investigate, and they see that they're both just like puppet suits, essentially. And the small man, his head opens up, and there's a little bitty alien inside that is deeply cute, but it is dying, and it's very sad. And it says that the galaxy is on Orion's belt. And so Agent J tells everybody that, but they're like, nah, dude, look, this is Orion's belt. It's 3 stars. That ain't a galaxy. Which, like, you would have to imagine that they are creative and imaginative people that have to work at this agency. But I get it for the plot needing to move forward and be interesting. Other things need to happen. So they couldn't figure it out right away. It's fine. But that does lead us to getting to meet Frank. So yeah, it's Frank the Pug, which I think Frank the Pug is my grandmother's favorite character in the Men in Black series. Because he is. He's at least in the first 2 for sure. I remember him in the second one. Maybe he's in the third. I don't know about the fourth. Frank the Pug is great. She also really loves, there's these alien guys that hang out at MIB headquarters that have these long bodies and they speak their own language, but they all go, "Hey!" a lot, and my grandma really likes them. They're very enjoyable. But okay, yes, Frank the Pug. In his little shack on the street, and Agent K goes up to him, and Agent J is like, "Yo, aliens are supposed to be disguised really well." Because there's like this old Transylvania looking man next to Frank the Pug at this little shack. And it's funny because it turns out that the pug is the alien. And so Agent K picks up the pug and starts shaking him on the street, shaking this dog, and everybody is very disturbed. But nobody really does anything about it because this is New York and no one cares. Sorry. To my friends in New York, I know that you care. You're really great. Shout out to you all. You're wonderful. I hope you're okay. But that's the joke. Is that a grown adult man can be shaking a sweet little pug on the street. No one will do anything. But Frank finally gives up the intel that the reason the bug is hunting for the galaxy is that it can be used as like a generator, like a power source. This is really powerful. And that it is being housed in a small like jewel. And so they figure out, Jay does it because he's smart and he's the best. Agent J is like, Orion, that cat. The cat was named Orion that was with him. It's on his collar because he's a genius. And so they go back to the morgue, and at this point, the bug man, right, has figured out that he grabbed a bunch of diamonds and not the galaxy. And so he goes to the morgue to try and find where the galaxy is on the body, I suppose. And he, it traps the morgue lady, is like holding her hostage essentially. And, but at first he goes in to the receptionist is David Cross, and he is actively swatting flies and killing bugs and things. So David Cross gets glued to the ceiling with a web. I don't know. I guess this bug man is just every bug. He's just every bug. I am every bug. Yeah, that was a joke that needed to be made. You're welcome. So yeah, we've got David Cross on the ceiling, and that clues the agents in that the bug is there. And Agent J goes down to the morgue and is talking to the morgue lady because the bug is just hiding. I guess wanting intel? I don't know. And Agent J just thinks that the morgue woman is hitting on him, which is a disappointment. I know her name starts with an L. Laurel. Yeah, Laurel is the name of the morgue woman. And she is not hitting on him. She is trying to notify him that there's the bug man sitting under the table in front of her, trying to kill her. And so then he gets it eventually, and they fight. He gets out, and he's like, "Rah! I'm a bad guy." And yeah, and he gets the galaxy from the cat and kidnaps Laurel and drives away. And then they find out that the people, the aliens who belong to the species of that sweet man, was there the Archilians is their name, the aliens. They bring a battleship and fire it at the Earth, being like, "Give us our galaxy back. or we're gonna blow you up, because we'd rather blow up you and our galaxy than let that bug get our galaxy. So they're like, you have a week, which is an hour in Earth time. So, yeah. So they're like, well, where's the bug going? We have his spaceship. And then Agent J is like, yo, remember conveniently that you told me that those, like, spaceships are parked at the World's Fair. I bet he's gonna go take one of those. So they go to the park. It's a park in New York where the World's Fair was. And he's right. That's where the bug's going, to get on one of those flying saucers. And yeah, the bug is crawling up to the flying saucers with Laurel, and Laurel's like, no, and she gets away. She, like, gets out of his clutches, amazingly, because she is a strong, independent woman, and it's great. And but he continues to climb up and turn on one of those, saucers. But of course, J and K perfectly get there using, like, super hyper speed in the car. Sure. And they shoot it, and they shoot it down, and it's good. But then the bug just gets out of its skin suit, and it turns into a very scary bug, a very big old scary nasty bug man, and he starts running rampage, and eventually actually eats Agent K, and it's terrible. And it tries to go to the other ship, because of course there are two ships. But yeah, Agent J, like, taunts it, and, like, by, like, killing some bugs and stuff and making it mad. And then Agent K, of course, blows it apart from the inside. Classic Greek move. You know it. You know when you get swallowed by the monster and you kill it from the inside. That's the way to do it. And so that's what he does. And yep. They save the galaxy. And it's great. Yeah. There is, like, a moment of fear, though, again, because they cut it in half, but then the head was still living, but then Laurel shoots it, because she's a badass woman, and so that's dope. So yeah, then they go back to the headquarters, and Agent K reveals that he hasn't been training Agent J as his new partner. He has been training him as his replacement. Aww. And we find out that, at the World's Fair in 61, the flowers that he gave that alien were meant for his wife, who has just been living all alone, thinking that her husband has been in a coma for like 30 years. And so the next scene we see is Agent J at the supermarket, like, picking up those tabloids, and one of them says, "Man wakes up from 35-year coma." And it's a picture of Agent J with his wife. And it's so sweet. And, and Agent J goes back to his car, and his new partner is like, hey, we've got a new case. And it's Laurel is his new partner, and she's Agent L. And, and then it, like, kind of zooms out to the picture of, like, our whole galaxy, and then it zooms out even more, and we are, like, the size of a marble, and then we see that our galaxy is just a marble that a big alien is playing with. Yes! And that's the movie. It's dope! Dope as hell. It's so good. And it was really cool. All the special effects were really cool. They were still cool. It's 2020. I watched it and it was dope. Those graphics are cool. Those special effects and practical effects were sick. It was 97. That's amazing. Because I've seen bad effects now. I saw Cats, y'all. Ugh. Oh, God. I saw Cats. It was so bad. But yeah, okay. So the movie has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, as it should. That is correct for the first time like ever. Rotten Tomatoes is correct. 92%. But on Letterboxd, it has a 3.5 out of 5 stars. That was really surprising. And I kind of got mad about that. So I read reviews that were lower star ratings, and all of the reviews were positive. They were all people being like, wow, this movie was actually really pretty good. It's better than it should be. And I was like, then stop being an asshole and give it the stars it deserves. But it's okay. It's whatever. Who cares? It's fucking Letterboxd. But yeah, I'm gonna get on there. I'm gonna write a glowing review. So yeah, do I identify with this movie? No. Maybe feeling like an alien. Oh man. Yeah, just being a weirdo living in our world, bucking the status quo. That sort of thing, I guess. Or the things aren't always as they seem in the world. I like all of that. I guess it's not me identifying with any of that. There were no characters in this movie that I identified with. Maybe Frank the Pug a little bit. Just being an asshole. Being pushed around by the white man. Me and Frank the Pug, But yeah, that's about it. But it is amazing. This is amazing. If you've never seen Men in Black, oh my god, please watch it. I know that you have now listened to this whole thing, which is the whole movie, but me talking about it is nothing compared to the visual excitement. I was enthralled the whole time. I had a phenomenal time. It was so good. I'm very excited to watch the next ones. For real, somebody tell me about the Marvel connection. If it is, could we someday see Men in Black and Spider-Man teaming up? Or Guardians of the Galaxy, right? That makes the most sense, actually. Guardians of the Galaxy and Men in Black is the actual thing that makes sense. But whatever. Cool. So yeah. That's it. Remember, Give for Good Louisville, September 17th. That's going to be next Thursday when episode Men in Black 2 comes out. So be sure to give. The giving starts at midnight on the 17th and goes until 11:59. They are if you give super early in the morning, there are additional little prizes and stuff that those nonprofits get. They get the earliest donations given and stuff like that. So, for real, if you don't mind or if you're going to be up late, get up and give some money. Great organizations like Change Today, Change Tomorrow is one of them, and the Louisville Grocery, Young Authors Greenhouse. A lot of really great nonprofits here in Louisville. They're all participating. If you go onto the website for Give for Good Louisville, they have the full listing. They even have a little sectioned off racial justice nonprofits that are participating, that sort of thing. So you can get some information on all of those, learn about them, be wonderful, support, give $1, give $2 if you can. So as always, thank you for listening. I love you dearly, and I would hide a galaxy on my cat Matilda's collar anytime for you, because that's real love. All right, cool. As always, I've been your funny frat friend, Allie. I'll talk at you next week. All right, bye.